past the industrial area to the west of Marseille. We're heading towards Marseille now. It's probably the most industry, the most lorries and the most traffic we've seen since the M25.
Yeah, it was very busy, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Lots of lanes, 3 lanes of speeding traffic and everybody losing their heads. But apart from us, we're like 3 wheels on my wagon, aren't we?
That's
just on the outskirts of Marseille now. It's looking incredibly busy on some of the slip roads that are getting off. And we're just coming up to a traffic jam by the look of it.
Well, it's a narrow tunnel to get through.
A narrow tunnel. That won't be
3
good.
lanes now to 2.
But it don't look all that nice, does it?
Well, we're not at the seafront, are we?
No, there is that. That's a bit more like it, isn't it? Got some mountains and all your high-risey things.
I don't know.
We've had a bit of a white knuckle ride through the centre of Marseille. Well, not the centre, but it
Main
was.
ring road.
Yeah, it was a bit scary, wasn't it? With a lot of
There's just a lot of traffic. The sat nav was losing signal in the tunnel, so it wasn't making an awful lot of sense. But we just followed the directions from one of the towns, and that was it.
All I can say is that they're very Mediterranean with their driving habits around here.
They like the horn.
They like at a horn. They like to beep at you for no apparent reason, and I don't know.
We've just come into the cuges-les-pins.
I don't know quite what cuges means, but le pins means the pines.
Turn left, place de l'Arrivée-Ration.
And no, you can't go there. It was trying to send us up and no entry,
Turn left.
so we won't do that.
Turn left.
I get that.
Don't know quite how we're going to get there.
After 100 yards.
Well, we've followed some of the village guide. We've gone past the fountains and the little shrines. We've gone past the washery and the fountain. There was a clock tower. That little building behind us back there in like the pastel pink is a very ancient chapel and meeting place. Couldn't quite make it out, but the door was open, so I went inside. It just appears to be now a meeting room or a community room for the local people. Got a load of judo stickers in it. But we're just walking back up now. We might have a look at the last 2 points of enigma for this little village, as they like to mark it out. Some of them were a little bit missing, but we will see. It's been nice.
Beautiful little village, isn't it?
Yeah, very quiet. Just very tidy. Run of your mill, quiet little place. But we're going up to the pines again now. Right, well, we're just approaching the last few of the enigmas. Slowly climbing up. You can probably see the view of the village, the tall pines, and the clock tower, church. It's a lovely little thing, and this is where we're coming to. I would imagine it's a shrine rather than a pizza oven.
I imagine it is.
But we will have a little look. Yeah, I will watch where we're walking because they're the Oratoire de Coudon. Wow, the view back then was very different from now.
You could still see the church, but that's about it, isn't it? You've got the Virgin Mary.
Yeah, there's somewhere. Oratory of the Virgin Mary. Mission was 1950. There we go, there she is.
And it was originally done on the 25th of March 1854.
Wow, that's a grand pizza oven.
Wait a minute. So it says in March 1958,
1858.
Our Lady appeared to Bernadette Soubirous. So that was at Lourdes.
Ah,
Grotto de Lourdes.
yeah, look at all the ants. They're going up there for something. Look at that. They're all crazy. You better not stand here too long, they'll be taking interest in my legs. And there's a slight whiff of
It's beautiful.
a flower or something. Yeah. Or a herb. We don't know. But we'll have a look. A little bit away and we'll go find number 4. Should be just up this path somewhere. How life is spent in rural France. I don't mean the bins. They're playing petanque. That's that. Playing cards. Oh, that's a long. You knew we got a crowd watching him. Wow, the young contender has arrived. Oh, and look, we've got cavemen making their mark on the world again for the next 12,000 years. And we've got another shrine. Yeah. The Oratoire Sainte Marie Madeleine. It was, well, it says 1979, but
I think that's when it was re-erected.
no, I think it's.
Abbe Jean-Rue Macron.
Well, we're having a bit of an experiment today. We're going to see if we can cook pizza in the skillet. Yeah.
Either it's going to be a horrible burnt mess and we're going to have something else, or it'll be amazing.
Looking okay?
Cooking.
Definitely cooking. I noticed she tried mine first. Alan can eat the burnt, sticky, horrible mess. But come back in 2 minutes and we'll see how we get on. Helen's a bit concerned because she thinks that I've been to the blood bank.
It does look a bit like a bag of chopped liver.
Wow, it's not though, is it? It's just, why have a big box when you could just have a little bag of wine? Wait for the pizza. 1 more minute. I've got pizza. It's definitely crispy on the bottom.
Don't burn yourself.
Might be a tad hot.
I mean, like, it's like trying to feed a 4-year-old. You always have to tell him, don't eat it, might be too hot. Is it good? Well, we like this.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Okay, well,
This is moustache.
well, mine's in. Quatre fromages. We'll see how we go with that.
Oh, we seem to have preempted ourselves. She says it's not quite ready yet, but mine was really tasty.
I think they're the way forward, these double skillets.
Double skillet, don't need an oven.
Well, it'd be nice to have an oven.
Nice to have an oven, but it's just another bit of weight that you don't need. Use them as a frying pan, use them as a saucepan,
Well,
use them as an oven, bake your cinnamon rolls in it.
I've thrown away all my other pans, apart from one, because I had 2 frying pans, a set of saucepans, there was a steamer that I had, and it's all gone. So basically I've now got 2 pans which clip together and make an oven.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna have a look now. Oh yes,
Ooh, that's looking damn good, that is.
Smells good. There you go.
And the test.
Oh, I thought you
No burnt bottom.
I thought you were going to eat it then. I was going to actually slap you around the head.
She'd have hit me with a double skillet and gutted me with a bloody potato flipper. Anyway, bon appetit.
Cheers.
We're having to hold Buffy.
Yes,
because
restrain her.
it looks like Goaty McGoatface has come for my shoes. All right, Goaty McGoatface? You got really horrible eyes. What are you doing there? Go on, get away with you, you big horny beast.
Don't be mean.
Don't eat me shoes. I just sat here listening to Helen talking about, she was reading
Arthur.
a blog from our tour, which was the people that we first read about when we first thought about getting a camper van. And at the corner of my eye, through the open door, Goaty McGoatface appeared. Well, there's a thing, isn't there?
I will just shut the door.
I'm gonna have to shut the door, but you know, that's what you get for €4.50. Don't eat my shoes, Goaty.
Oh my god.
Still there.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
So it's a bit fuzzy, but it's through the fly screen. I'll try and get it a bit closer. It's Goaty McGoatface.
Oh my god. Dog's going mad.
Yeah, I think I might go and take the blind off the front window and see what she makes of it. Oh, jeez. It's not out that window, is it?
Not out that window either.
No.
Go on. No.
You can't go out. Jump up here, Buff.
You can look at it, but you're not going to get it.
Go on, look at it.
Come on. Up here. Up here.
Come on.
What is it?
Anyway, enough goat antics in our €4.50 a night, 22 degree stop for the evening. So here we are in the scrublands, and there's Goaty McGoatface again. Look at him eating a bush. You alright there, Goaty? I used to have a beard like you at one stage. Yeah, you alright? You carry on eating. Yeah, I think that's enough goat action.